No, I'm not crazy. With inflation right now sitting at 6.4%, if you have $1,500 in the bank, this year you're losing right there $100 of it. That's going down because of something called inflation. And I thought I'd do something about it. I've been researching for you, what are the other streams of income that you should add to your world? Well, today for 2023, I'm gonna share with you the 5 best ways to make extra money rather than letting it burn a hole in your bank account.
One shot, not a future before. Let's go.
You know what the problem is with most people financially? They're trying to make all their money in one stream of income. I got a job, I own a business, and you know, that's really all one person can handle. False. That's actually not true. You can actually build multiple streams of income. You can set them up to be passive. They can be businesses, they can be franchises, they can be side hustles. You don't have to be stuck with earning money in just one way. And in today's video, I want to talk about 5 of the best ways to make money in 2023 because the economy has changed. AI, its advent is upon us. It's actually never been easier. In fact, if you're not this year adding more streams of income, you either lazy or you're just not curious enough to find out, but that's not you. You're a subscriber here on my channel. I know you're here to increase your financial genius. And today I'm gonna shoot straight. I'm gonna give you 5 of the best ways. So I have here $150,000 and this is 10 grand. And check this out. With inflation curbed at a high 6.4% year over year, it appears that reduced consumer buying power will be an ongoing trend. This means that finding multiple streams of income is more important than ever before because if I have 15 packs of 10 grand, I can pretty much throw that $10,000 away because that is what is being eroded by our government's choice to print trillions of dollars that we don't have instead of saying, hey, we should learn how to operate our government on a budget, maybe make better financial decisions, and that starts with you and I. So today I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can improve your finances, 5 of the best ways to build a side stream of income. Listen, I wasn't always financially well-to-do. Back when I was in college, I was going to school because I thought I was going to be a doctor. I got weeded out of that because I was no good at chemistry. But on that same token, I had a job. It was a telemarketing job, kind of a college job, definitely not like big career move. And it was an opportunity for me to talk to thousands of people that year who had been to college 30 years earlier. They were now in their 50s. They had dutifully gotten their degrees, 401k'd, IRA'd, worked on paying off their house. And now I could feel all this financial panic from them. And I started realizing that if you have just one job, you're always going to be in some level of financial desperation, even if you're paying your bills. If you have 2 jobs, maybe like, I don't know, you're married and you got a significant other and they have a job, you can be a little better off. But today there's even people with 3 jobs or 4 jobs in the household and they're struggling to make ends meet. What we can clearly decipher from this is that 1 stream of income, not enough. 2, probably not. But what about 200? Well, if you want to get to 200, you got to start with number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So today what I want to do is I want to show you a more financially intelligent approach to your financial life. Because if you're thinking, yeah, Kris, but a job that requires 40 or 50 hours a week, how can I get a second job? I don't got another 40, 50 hours a week. And you'd be right. You have to learn to think financially outside the box. The first thing everyone needs is some type of side hustle, something that you can spend 1 or 2 hours a day at, but it actually runs the potential of not just making a few thousand extra dollars a month, but maybe the kind of income that can free you from your job. Think about that for just a moment. If I could work 2 hours a day on the side and have it replace my entire job, I get all that time back, and now all of a sudden you've got that time for more streams of income. Here's one such idea that could help you get there. Start an online business. Why? Well, you got 29% of small businesses that don't have a website. By the way, I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah, they still haven't caught up to this thing called the internet. With a gap in the market this large, you can set up either a website creation company, a social media ads company, an SEO optimization company. And by the way, you've got really cool AI tools out there that will do most of this stuff for you. In fact, I've helped people set up businesses like this. This might be for maybe the slightly techier, savvier, work from home, I like leveraging the internet kind of person that says, Kris, are you really telling me I could do this? My younger brother, Nick, he started doing this with me years ago. Now he's retired, a multimillionaire. It started with something as simple as this, and it worked then, and it works today. My second idea for you today is how I originally became financially free. It's real estate. Do-it-yourself real estate. Think of something as simple as an Airbnb or some type of house hacking. Like, I bought my very first house, I rented out the basement, it covered my entire mortgage, and my wife and I lived for free. You know what we did a year later? We used the equity in the house because we bought it below market, and it bought our second house. Now, we didn't move into that one, but that one, after being rented out, paid us $600 a month plus thousands of dollars in the bank from the down payment doing something called a rent-to-own or a lease option. Guess how we bought the third house? The equity in the second house bought the third house. By renting rooms in your house, you can significantly reduce your living costs, which is most people's biggest expense. And this is a great way to start financially thinking. My biggest expense is my rent or my mortgage. So what can I do on the side? Real estate, a side hustle, website design, something that can actually eliminate that and take it off the books. Then you start going down the list and saying, okay, what's my second biggest expense? Maybe it's my health insurance. Maybe it's my vehicle and the insurance for it, or and eventually you're gonna get to food and the tiny little things. Financially independent means that you've got these side streams of income with the three others I'm gonna share with you today that ultimately produce ongoing income that wipe out all your expenses. Because when you have no more expenses, you've got the freedom to live your life in a very different way. Let's talk about buying an existing business, right? You don't have to start a business from scratch. You don't have to dream up some great idea. That is how some great companies start. But for most of us, it's a lot easier to say, hey, who already started a business that's getting out? I mean, we are in the largest wealth transfer in modern history. Why? Because in the next few years, the final baby boomers, they're about to retire. And you know what? 60% of their businesses have no exit plan. So get an existing business. And if you want to beat that, take this little hack. The third bigger idea is get a franchise. Think about it. A franchise, some of these names that you recognize are basically an entrepreneur that came before. They figured out how to do their business really well. Then they started stamping it out and said, wow, we now have 5 shops, but what if we want 500 or 5,000? We should give the opportunity to someone else and help them produce that same benefit. Depending on the brand, a good franchise can have an 80% plus success rate. These businesses can be financed in various ways, make your money back in a short period of time, create cash flow, scalability, and here's the cool thing about that. You start from scratch and 80% plus of businesses fail over the course of a decade. You do a franchise and it's the inverse. There's a way higher likelihood of success. By the way, I have ownership in a dozen different franchises because I love this model. And if you're interested in anything I've talked about so far in this video, whether it's real estate, owning a business, a franchise, anything, I want you to click the link because you can request a free game plan, talk to a member of my team, and let me show you all the cool stuff I'm doing that you can do too. I want to show you a different thing to do with this money. You see, I stash my money in a different place that allows me to earn money on it in more than one place at once. And that is a very specific type of life insurance policy. The fourth idea I'm sharing with you today is, wait, Kris, are you talking about life insurance like I'm going to die and when I die I leave my family money? No, this is a different kind of policy. Whether funding a franchise, real estate, or another business, you can grow your money in multiple places at once through a very specific type of whole life policy. Life insurance allows you to have a guaranteed rate of return and borrow against your balance to fund your business ventures. In other words, the most important financial decision in your entire life that you're ever going to make is to pay yourself first. That means that with every paycheck, some of that has got to set aside, not for savings, for investing. Where should you stash it? Not in a bank account, not in a 401k, not in the bricks of your house through equity, but rather in a life insurance policy. Every paycheck, you stash it there. And what it does is it accumulates. And when it does, you can pull it out, you can put it in different business ventures, and your money will now be earning a great tax-free rate of return here while being untouchable, while your money's earning you additional passive income over here. By the way, if you're starting from scratch like I did, this is a really smart thing for you to do because if you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, you should do what they do, and this is what they do. And drum roll please for the fifth idea. We're talking about another kind of real estate where you're totally passive and someone's doing it for you. If you are already making good money and don't have time to manage another business, consider finding a real estate partner with a proven track record. While you'll be sharing profits, earnings will be more consistent than stocks, and it will be completely passive. And for some people, that makes all the difference in the world. For the last 20 years, I've done $2 billion worth of real estate with hundreds of partners building their wealth portfolios. And you know what? You don't have to be rich to play this game. If you bought a house a couple of years ago or longer and it's gone up in value, you have equity that I believe you should put into real estate. If you've been putting money into a 401k, or you switch jobs and you have a rollover, or you've been putting money in an IRA, those are excellent sources to passively put in the game of real estate, where you can go from earning weak single-digit ROIs to really powerful double and triple digit ROIs. Real estate consistently provides that, and a single house for most people over 20 years equals millions of dollars. If you'd like to see that math, then you'll definitely also want to click the link below, because everything that I've talked about today are options that are available to you. And I've got trained staff literally standing by to respond back to you, text you, and represent me. Basically say, if Kris Krohn were you, if I were in your shoes, what would I do financially? Right now, if you have one stream of income, let's help you get your next 2 or 3. If you have multiple streams of income, let's help you scale that so that you can build more wealth for yourself. After all, you've got this one life to live, and you can either make it selfishly all about you and trying to get your expenses covered, or you can do something bigger. You can play a game where you're going to build so many streams of income that you can build the kind of wealth that you can help a lot of people with. So this is what I call getting a custom game plan. It's a little bit like athletics. It's like, it's our team against that team. Do you have a winning playbook? Do you have a winning strategy? Most of us are just following society's default game plan, but I promise you there is a superior one. You just got to get a different set of eyes on your financial situation. Someone that can help you understand that growing wealth just means you got to go from your low yields to higher yields without bringing on more risk, just a lot more reward. I promise you, those options exist, and if you want to know more about them, click that link below and let me show you. Recently, I had an older gentleman come into my studio and he said, Kris, give me a game plan because I have less than 10 years to live. And if you want to know what his game plan looked like, then you're definitely going to want to watch this video right here, because he was most concerned with how he was going to take care of his family. And if that's a concern of yours, well, you're going to want to watch this video and let me show you what I did for him.